They laughed at him, but he stayed silent. It was due to what he was becoming rather than because he was broken. He didn't shout, he didn't argue, he didn't beg to be seen. He simply walked away, not in weakness, but in pure focus. The heartbreak, the losses, the regret, all of it. No more blame. No more excuses. From that moment, the old version of him was gone. No applause. No spotlight. It's just quiet transformation. It's private, sacred. When he entered a room, he didn't need to speak. His presence made the noise. He wasn't looking for love, attention, or approval anymore. Not loud, but lasting. He didn't seek revenge. He didn't need justice. He just needed space. From chaos, from noise, from the past. But those seasons are sacred. They break the weak, forge the strong. He didn't just survive it, he embraced it, with no quotes. No noise, just action. And when the dust cleared, they had no choice but to notice. Because true elevation docent circle back to prove a point. It rises above to fulfill a purpose. Because he was too focused on who he was still becoming. You're allowed to go silent. You're free to be questioned, misinterpreted, and even made fun of, even mocked. Because staying the same will always hurt more than changing alone. But to disappear and build. Let them gossip. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Because when you rise, and you will, they'll rewrite the story to say they always believed in you. But deep down, you'll know. They weren't there, but you were. Just make it through. You became unstoppable. Cut the noise. Embrace the solitude. And when you return, let your results echo louder than their laughter ever did. Not a boy seeking acceptance, but a man commanding respect. Become the person who walks through fire without a flinch. Not to prove yourself to others, but to finally be proud when you look in the mirror. He is the constructor of his future, not the shadow of his past. And now, he doesn't seek validation. He is his own witness, his own proof, his own standard. He had already found something greater. Peace. He had learned the rarest truth, that a man who rebuilds in silence is the most dangerous man alive. Was respect, not demanded, not forced. Earned through perseverance, through self-discipline, through stillness. That's what they couldn't take from him. He gave up being liked. He accepted being alone, just to become a man he could respect. Not a puppet, not a victim. Tap that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. Because here at Mind Wisdom, we rise in silence. And the world hears us anyway. But a warrior who stood on his own feet, he didn't wait for applause. He became his own applause. Every scar became strength. Every betrayal became vision. Every insult became fuel. He was crafting a version of himself so precise, so powerful, so grounded, that when he finally returned, even the world stood still. Not with pride, but with peace. Because they never saw the tears he wiped alone. The mornings he rose without hope, the nights he battled himself in silence. They weren't there when his pockets were empty, and all he had was a fire inside. So he gave them no answers, because real growth doesn't require explanation. It speaks with results. Not because he changed, but because he became exactly who he was born to be. While others partied and posted, he was in the trenches, brick by brick, breath by breath, building something unshakable. Because the greatest revenge isn't revenge at all. It's becoming quiet, focused, relentless, not visible. But to have freedom alone. While the world mocked his fall, he walked into the shadows alone. To rise without witnesses, no helping hands. No cheering crowds. Just him in silence. And in that silence, he was reborn. They thought silence was defeat, but it was his weapon. He didn't cry for attention. He didn't broadcast his pain. He bled behind closed doors. His phone stayed quiet. His name forgotten. No one asked if he was okay, because no one really cared. They'd written his ending without reading the next chapter, but he didn't beg. He didn't break. He inwardly turned the anguish and made it sharper. Because when a man takes full responsibility for his suffering, without asking for pity, he becomes unstoppable. One day, he faced the mirror and said, "This is on me." He didn't need motivation. He became it. Waking before the sun, no alarm. Just purpose pounding in his chest. Every workout was revenge for the mockery. To those who questioned him, every drop of perspiration was a quiet reply. While the world chased attention, he chased wisdom. He learned discipline, mastered focus, built his mind like a fortress. He welcomed boredom. He embraced the silence. And in that boring, brutal routine, he found freedom. They thought he disappeared, but he was evolving. They didn't see the late nights, the books, the solitude, because real change is never public. He no longer chased validation. He had become the standard. And when the same people who once laughed asked, "How did you do it?" she smiled. He had become a quiet storm. The laughs faded. The whispers died, and what replaced them? Every man will face a season where he's left for dead, ignored, insulted, misunderstood. He sacrificed comfort. He didn't announce his return. He just showed up, stronger, sharper, silent. He didn't care if they remembered the old him. To everyone listening right now, know this: you are allowed to vanish. You owe nothing to the world, but you owe everything to the version of you that refuses to stay broken. This is your time, not to post, not to beg,